Greetings, Trojans. It is my pleasure to welcome you all today to our First Generation Student Week kickoff celebration. My name is Dr. Queena Hong, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I have the honor and privilege of leading our brand new First Generation Plus Success Center, which opened this fall. At this time, we would like to take a moment to honor Indigenous sovereignty and acknowledge that our homes, our workplaces, and our lives rest on occupied Indigenous lands. For thousands of years, the Tongva people lived on this land we occupy today and were considered the most powerful Indigenous peoples to inhabit the Los Angeles Basin. Along with the Tongva, we also recognize the Chumash, Tataviam, Serrano, Cahuilla, Juanino, and the Luasino people for the land that USC also occupies in the Southern California area. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all events. And now, I would like to thank you again for being here today as we kick off USC's First Generation Week of Celebration. As a first generation Trojan alumna myself, I am reminded each and every day the importance of recognizing, supporting, and celebrating our 10,000 amazing and resilient first generation students at USC. Not only do I get to work with our first generation college students, I also get to work with our transfers, former foster youth, and undocumented Trojans. When the center was initiated, our students advocated for the inclusion of all these student populations, emphasizing the importance of intersectionality and multiple identities within our first generation college student population. Today's kickoff will include many powerful stories and narratives of first gen Trojans, information on ways to celebrate this week and beyond, and finally, an opportunity for those who are able to give back with your time, your talent, and your treasure. I am joined today with two of our amazing graduate students from FGSC who will share a bit more about our week of celebration.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Lopez, and I'm a graduate assistant at the First Generation Plus Success Center. In collaboration and partnership with a number of student organizations, campus departments, and university administrators, we are so excited to have put together a collective number of programs and events to celebrate our USC First Generation Trojans. These programs are just a glimpse into all that we hope to accomplish and provide as our center continues to grow in the coming years. Additionally, we have a great opportunity for you to show off your first gen pride. In collaboration with the USC bookstore, we have created First to Fight On t-shirts, where you buy one and we give one. With every First to Fight On purchase, matching apparel will be donated to a current first generation Trojan. A link will be provided in the chat box, or you can visit the USC bookstore website now. We invite and encourage you, our students, staff, faculty, alumni, community, and friends to join us this week in sharing your pride, support, and stories with one another, similar to the ones you will hear today during our kickoff.
Hi, my name is Eileen Huang, and I'm the other graduate assistant here at the First Generation Plus Success Center. As Dr. Hong mentioned, today our program includes a number of remarkable first-gen students, staff, administrators, and alumni. We hope that this provides you a glimpse into the power of this community here at USC. But the kickoff is only the beginning. We invite you to continue the celebration on social media, utilizing our hashtag #FirstToFightOn. We have also created the First to Fight On giving campaign to support first-generation programs and supportive services. This will help us fund academic enhancement opportunities such as internships, study abroad, alternative breaks, and graduate school applications. This is one of many ways that you can support first-generation students. If you're able to give a little bit today, you can text FGSC to 71777 or visit the link provided in the chat below. Now, I would like to introduce our first speaker for today, our greatest advocate in the establishment of the First Generation Plus Success Center, President Dr. Carol Folt. Dr. Folt, we thank you for being here today and celebrating First Gen Week with us, for your continued support, and for taking the time to engage with us in conversation.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. And I want to thank Queena too for the lovely welcome and the thoughtful recognition of our historic legacies. And greetings, Trojans. It is such a pleasure to be with you. This is an important week because this is a celebration of our first gen students. Both of my parents were the first in their families to attend university, and I learned from them about the strength, the hard work, the passion, and the commitment first gen students bring to everything. As first gens, the first to fight on, I love that, you're a critical and energizing part of the USC community. Among our undergraduates, 20% of you identify as first gens. Among our graduate students, it's 27%, and among our transfer students, it's 29%. Our newest students, the class of 2024, are 22% first gens, which was a significant increase from prior years. It makes us very excited to see that. You're talented, compassionate, and a diverse group of students. For many of you, the path to USC included some tough obstacles, and it also included some dedicated mentors and some very determined families. I know that you all really dreamt big, and your dreams are what brought you here. And by the way, we are really pleased that you chose us because we know that you have choice and you chose to become members of the Trojan family. I remember one student at the opening of our First Gen Plus Student Center this year. I remember one student who talked about imposter syndrome and talked about that all too common feeling that people sometimes can carry of not belonging. That feeling shadows many people, and not just first gens. But I just want to say again and again that of course you belong here at USC. You've more than earned your spot. And in fact, we need you here. We need your voices and we need your perspectives for our campuses to thrive. And I also want to give a shout out to everyone who is already working in our new First Gen Plus Student Success Center. You can see they're pretty incredible, and they too are absolutely determined to make this a big success. Now, it's important that we find times to celebrate. The rituals of coming together are really important because they reinforce our determination to be part of a community. And of course, that's probably truer now than ever. We're all making the best of a challenging COVID-19 environment. And I think for me, the pandemic reminds me every day of the importance of community. And maybe it makes us understand a little bit more how precious it is when we can be together. But the innovation of people stepping up at this time to find ways to really connect when we're online has also been very impressive, and I think is very important for us to stay absolutely active in this area so that we can connect and support each other, whether it's virtually and through events like these or in the future when we're back in person. You're going to hear from some amazing people who are first gens themselves. You're going to hear from one of our trustees, our vice president of student affairs, our most distinguished faculty, and of course, several students, all of whom have had experiences similar to yours. When we're back in person, then of course the First Gen Plus Center will take this to the next level with a physical location and more resources. And do remember that the real inspiration from all this came directly from the students. And that also gives us a lot of excitement and real gratitude as we celebrate today. That new center is going to be completed by mid-January. And the construction is already underway. So maybe if we're lucky this spring, some of you will actually be able to be in there in person. That's still our goal and still what we're working towards. It will be a home away from home for first gens as well as transfer students, former foster youth, undocumented students. We think nearly 16,000 of our students may find real resources there. The center will also be a home for any other student who may benefit from extra friendship and fellowship from us. But beyond that, I really do encourage you to find strength in each other. And one way to do that, of course, is to look around and find role models and mentors. And they're going to come to you from many places, from faculty, staff, but also from your incredible peers. And I'm just going to share two quick stories about two of our first generation students who really inspire me. One of them is Jasmine Sanchez, a graduate of our McMorrow Neighborhood Academic Initiative. She's the youngest of three sibs, and her parents came to the United States from El Salvador. Neither of her parents received any formal education. When Jasmine was just 14, she was living with an undiagnosed ovarian torsion. The pain was so great for her on some days that she couldn't even move. And when she went to her doctor, she was told it was in her head, and she was referred to a psychologist. But that experience shaped her thinking. After receiving her diagnosis and the appropriate treatment, she is now determined to help others. She's currently a second-year student here at Dornsife. She's majoring in health and human sciences, and she is also volunteering with NAI and at the hospital where she was treated. Another one of our first gems who's also very inspiring is Giovanni Esparza. His parents came to the United States from a small village in Mexico looking for work. In school, neither parent had advanced beyond the fourth grade, but they worked really hard, and Giovanni saw their incredible work ethic, and I can really relate to that myself. He himself has been helping to support his family since he was 10 years old. He helped his dad transport gravel. He worked at a bakery and got a job at Walgreens. Now he's a mechanical engineering major at Viterbi, and he dreams of using his degree to bring clean water to people in places that lack access. And there are millions of them. His story is inspiring. He and Jasmine are just two examples of incredible students on our campuses, and everyone on here today, I think, could share another great story of hope and aspiration. Those stories make you who you are, and they show your unique character. Share those stories with those around you, because we can all benefit from hearing how each of you arrived at USC. Now, I said before, you're going to have a chance to learn from one of our wonderful trustees, and now I have the special pleasure of introducing him. Michael Felix retired as the Senior Vice President for the Capital Group companies. He grew up nearby in Pico Rivera. At the time, a place like USC felt like another world to Michael. But some of his high school teachers urged him to apply to a few universities. And we could not be more grateful for that, because his teachers' encouragement led Mr. Felix to USC. He graduated from our Marshall School of Business and has had many volunteer positions right here at the university, including president of the Alumni Association's Board of Governors. He is a wonderful role model for all our students, staff, and faculty. So let's welcome USC trustee Michael Felix.
Thank you, President Folt. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here and be a part of First Generation Kickoff Week. Trust me, I could have used the help from these resources in my day. So I am a Marshall alumnus from the class of 1983. I grew up in a small town about 10 miles from campus called Pico Rivera, and I was fortunate to have two amazing parents who gave me so much love, taught me the importance of work ethic, and believed in my ambition. But they knew nothing about college and never encouraged me or my four siblings to even apply to a university. So I was the only one in my family to make it to college. And I will tell you, were it not for a high school teacher of mine, Miss Lawrence, who insisted everyone in her class apply to a university, I would not be here with you. I'm so grateful to her because, like all of you, my USC education transformed not only my life, but the opportunities for my entire family and future generations. I will tell you, it was not easy. My parents and I were completely ignorant. I recall when my parents dropped me off to move into my first USC apartment as a freshman, they had not purchased a meal plan for me, and they left me without giving me any money. I had to borrow money from my roommates for that evening's pizza dinner. And during my days as a first-gen USC student, I never imagined myself having the opportunities I've had professionally and as an alumni leader. As a student, I was so focused on my grades and working my part-time job that I did not engage. and therefore I did not really experience the Trojan family. But what is undeniable is that I have experienced it in its full glory as an alumnus, and it's been absolutely fantastic. I've had the incredible opportunity to serve as president of the USC Alumni Association Board of Governors, and humbled to say that I was the first Latino president. I've also had the opportunity to chair many other alumni organizations, including the School of Dramatic Arts Board of Counselors, the Caruso Catholic Center Advisory Board, and the Latino Alumni Association Corporate Advisory Council. And I currently have the privilege of serving on the Board of Trustees of our beloved university. As a first-gen Trojan, I never would have imagined these amazing experiences and the opportunity to engage with so many of our incredible Trojan family. So my advice to you, dream and dream big, and most importantly, continue what you've done to get here. You've already proven you have what it takes to achieve success. So keep working hard, be courageous, and don't be afraid to lean in and make a difference, even if you feel ill-equipped. And always, always be kind, be honest, and be trustworthy. And never let anyone make you believe or feel you don't have what it takes to be successful, because you're here and you've proven it, so just keep going. And lastly, give back. Remember the opportunities you were given and those that helped you, and be gracious. Engage with the Trojan family now. Be a mentor. Participate in alumni programs. Trust me, you will get so much more out of it than you give. And now we have a first-generation mentor program that was recently launched. As a first-generation graduate, your engagement and mentorship of a first-generation student currently on that same journey you walked would be absolutely invaluable. So congratulations to all of you for being a trailblazer and a pioneer in your family. I thank you so much for your time, and as always, fight on. And now it is my pleasure to introduce a Pulitzer Prize winner for his book, The Sympathizer, and he was also a professor of English as well as American Studies and Ethnicity at USC. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Viet Thanh Nguyen.
Hey, I am so glad to be sharing this virtual space with you as a fellow first-generation college student. USC is a great place to be. I've been here 23 years, which is longer than some of you have been alive. Kind of scary. I'm familiar with how USC, like a lot of universities, is a place of considerable wealth and privilege, where a lot of students and professors are not first-generation college students. So you've got a right to be proud to be here, and yet, at the same time, maybe you're feeling a little trepidation, maybe even feeling a little imposter syndrome. As a first-generation college student myself, and as a refugee from Vietnam who never said a word in my undergraduate classes, I just want you to know that if you're feeling some anxiety, it's okay. I still feel anxiety. I still feel imposter syndrome when I find myself in a room full of talented, smart, accomplished people, or when I find myself to be the lone Asian American or person of color in a room, which still happens far too often. I found a place for myself in college by finding people who I felt at home with. This is so crucial, because a lot of the education you'll get doesn't happen in the classroom. It happens by living life, making mistakes, growing in new ways, and finding out who you are. There are so many communities here at USC. Try and reach out and find the one where everybody is weird in the same way that you are weird. And if you don't feel weird in any way, good for you. I always felt weird because I love books and literature and writing and social justice and activism, and I got to where I am today, more than halfway to death, statistically speaking, because I embraced my weirdness, which is to say, my passions, and I did what I loved. I hope you do study what you love, but it can be difficult. Some of you may feel pressure to study what your family wants, and there's no easy answer there. You've worked really hard to get here, and you may have to keep on working really hard to please your family and to please yourself. If you have to major in something pragmatic, but which isn't your passion, try to do a second major, or at least minor, in what it is that you love. You too will one day be statistically halfway to death sooner than you know it. And you won't want to regret not doing what you wanted to do in college. I'm still shaped by the lessons I learned from my professors and my fellow students and my activism in college. And if you do what you love, you'll remember your college years too. And remember, as well, that it's not only you who are benefiting from USC. USC is better for having you here. No one knows this better than our next speaker, Winston Crisp, the Vice President of USC Student Affairs. He was the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Now, here, he leads a division currently focused on enhancing student mental health, equity and inclusion, healthy relationships, and substance-free social activities. Give it up for Winston Crisp.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And good afternoon, Trojans. I had a number of things that I wanted to say, but I all of a sudden feel like I probably should just say what he said and keep on going. That was fabulous. But I am honored and I am grateful beyond measure to be able to be a part of this celebration and frankly, to be a part of this movement that we are engaged in to make sure that everyone that comes to college has the opportunity to strive to reach their dreams and to go forward. That goes to the very core of what it is to be me. I, like many people on this call, am also a first-generation student. I come from humble means like many did, and no one in my family, as far as I knew, had ever been on a college campus, let alone thought about going. It was all about work, work, work. Everybody was working, including us, the children, when we had the opportunities to do that. But I will say one thing that I am eminently grateful for. I never had a doubt in my mind that I was going to go to college. My parents' entire existence was wrapped around the fact that they were going to make sure and do everything that they could to make sure that we had a chance, my siblings and I, to go to college, because they believed that through the opportunities that education brings to you, that we had an opportunity not only to better ourselves and to create the kind of lives for ourselves that my parents dreamed for us, but also we had the ability by doing so to collectively be strength for the entire family, those who had the opportunity for higher education or not. And so you can imagine I was excited about college, but I didn't know much about it, didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, didn't know how to be successful, just had a determination that I would be. And I'm here today, frankly, because of the determination of my parents to make sure that we knew that education was something we had to have. I didn't get to play sports. I didn't get to go outside and play. I didn't get to do anything until homework was done, until studying was done, because they were going to make sure that the one thing that we could control, that I could control, which was my effort and my hard work in school, was going to be there, and the rest we had to hope for. And luckily, we got help. I got scholarships and financial aid to allow me to go to school. And the rest of my journey, from the moment that I decided to go to college till sitting right here in front of you today, has been a journey of gratitude and a journey about people who have, for no reason other than that they wanted to, took the time to be there for me, to help me, to answer my questions, to pick me up when I had run myself into the nearest wall, trying to do things wrong, because I really didn't know what I was doing. And that to me is why this First Generation Plus Center that we are opening is so absolutely critically important, because we're going to try to make sure that the help, the resources, all of the aid that you could possibly need to put together with your own hard work and perseverance is enough to help you get where you are trying to go. And so we do have this center, and we have already begun with partnerships to create a mentoring program to match you all with peer mentors. We're beginning a mentorship program out of the Career Center to help you figure out that aspect of it. As Dr. Folt said, we have the center that we're proud to be opening in the virtual spaces to help you find community and to help you connect. I'm always at risk of talking way too long on this subject because it is a subject that is so near and dear to my heart. But I want to say this to you. You've heard about imposter syndrome. You've heard about the sense of helplessness, and you've heard about the sense of not knowing if you belong at times. I can tell you even today that there are moments, not so much down here in my basement office, but in the office on campus, that sitting behind that desk, I'm still waiting for the door to open and somebody to run in and ask me, what am I doing in the vice president's office, right? And yet, there I am, and there I stay and persist because of the love and the grace of countless people who worked so hard to help me make the most of my talents and skills. And that's what we dream of for you. That's what we are here for you. You are here because you have the drive and the determination and the talent and the spirit to make what you want out of your life. And we are determined to do all that we can to help you in that. So welcome, fight on always. Never forget that you are here because you can do this. If I can be here, so can you. Fight on, Trojans, and thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Donahue and I'm currently a senior here at USC studying pharmacology and drug development, and I'm also a first-gen college student. I'm so excited to talk a little bit about my experience as a first-gen student and also my advocacy efforts within the space. So starting with advocacy, my efforts really started after spending around 2 years on campus and noticing some of the gaps in the first-gen community in terms of support and resources. So after running for a seat in our undergraduate student government, me, a few other senators, and a large mass of leaders across campus. We had USC QuestBridge, USC Norman Topping Student Aid Fund, the First Generation Student Union, Fisher Fellows, just to name a few. We all came together and really put a proposal together for the First Gen Plus Center, which has excitedly been established here at USC, and I'm really excited once hopefully we're all back on campus to experience that in person. For me, as a senior now, reflecting on my time, coming to USC was a huge shock. I think for a lot of first-gen students, like, we are at the top of our game. We feel, especially in our communities, we do really well in high school, and then we get put into this really elite, competitive environment here at USC. And a lot of those educational inequities that some of us may have experienced follow us to USC, and it can be hard to, reach out for help and whatnot. So I'm really hoping that this center serves as just a way to affirm the first-gen identity, because we are resilient, we are determined, and we have a skill set that not every student has, and also offer support, fight imposter syndrome, and just really continue to build that community. It's been so wonderful to reflect on my 4 years and see how much I've grown. I didn't even know what the first-gen identity really was when I started college, and now as a senior, just being able to be so proud of being a first-gen student, proud to be a leader in my family, and thank you so much, and of course, fight on.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily, and I'm proud to be a first-generation student at the University of Southern California. As I'm sure you all are probably aware of, the transition from high school to college is already so strenuous, not taking into account when your parents can help you through the process. Being first gen for me looked like difficulty in choosing a college in the first place, a lot of frustration with time management, and a real difficulty in prioritizing my physical and mental health alongside everything else that was going on. It's very difficult for you to have sort of the weight of the world on your shoulders, being the first person in your family to go to college. That being said, being first gen looks different for everybody. Depends on what high school you came from, what does your family look like, what resources did you have, and what do you have currently? And that's one of the many reasons why I think it's so important for us to advocate for our community. Last year, I was very privileged to have been a part of a team working to establish a first-generation resource center. It is a long time ask for the first-generation community, and in doing so, we drafted a resolution envisioning a space where first-generation students can form communities, collectively share their resources, And seek advice in person rather than feeling like you're always bombarded with emails and a little bit like you're a very small fish in a very big ocean. That would never have been possible without a huge collection of first-generation students who volunteer their time across a number of orgs to give commentary, structure the resolution, and really give so many of those different viewpoints to make sure that that first-generation student was really for everyone who identifies as such. Moving forward, I'm very excited to see what the center will look like once we can meet in person. In the meantime, if you haven't already, go check out FGSU on Instagram. They're doing a fantastic job, and hang in there, classes are almost over. Thank you.
And I am so proud to be a first-generation student because it represents being a legacy of the sacrifices that my parents and ancestors have made. To all my other first-generation students in the community, always remember our resilience is our biggest strength. Fight on.
Hello, my name is Dr. Monique Sosa Allard, and I was the first in my family to graduate from high school. So I'm extremely proud to be a first-generation college student. I'm even more proud and honored to be here at USC to serve and support all of our first-gen Trojans. Fight on!
Hi, welcome to USC and congratulations on being a first-generation college student. It's the best. It'll change your life, you'll have a great legacy, and you'll be able to share it with all those around you and build them up, the same way that the first-generation mentor program can do for you in the Career Center. You guys are going to do great. It's a life-changing, phenomenal experience. Remember this, reach out your hand, say hello, participate, make friends, make your goals, and most importantly, fight on.
Happy First Gen Appreciation Week from the First Generation Student Leadership Program.
We're so stoked to have you as part of the Trojan family, and we're so grateful that you can all show what First Gen students are capable of.
I'm so proud to be surrounded by people who can constantly support and build each other up. Thank you to the First Gen student leaders for all your hard work and for being role models.
Thank you for attending our programming this fall. We appreciate you and your contributions to the USC community. Fight on!
Woo! Fight on!
And I am the Graduate Assistant for Student Basic Needs. I am proud to be a first-gen student because I'm able to set an example for others like me. We here at Student Basic Needs are proud to support students in their journey here at USC. Fight on!
Fight on!
Hi, this is Andy.
And Willa.
And we are from the Office of Academic Honors and Fellowships. We're so excited to celebrate First Gen Trojans, and we want to let you know that our office is here to support your academic journey.
We work with talented students such as yourself in the pursuit of fellowships and awards for graduate school, internships, study abroad, and more.
Come find us and check out our online resources. We're so proud of the USC First Generation Plus Success Center, and we look forward to supporting all our amazing First Gen Trojans. Fight on!
Fight on!
Hi, my name is Jonathan, and I was a first-gen undergrad and grad student.
Hi, my name is Daunia, and I was a first-gen undergrad and graduate student.
We here at Asian Pacific American Student Services are proud to support the first-gen community, and we're excited for First Gen Week.
Fight on!
Hello, good people. First, let me say happy First Gen Week.
I am Greeley F. Harris III, the Center Director for the Center for Black Culture and Student Affairs, also known as the CBCSA. And I just wanted to celebrate you all. I'm also a first-gen student, but to send you all some words of encouragement. Keep doing well, keep being awesome, do well on finals, knock those papers out, and just keep fighting on, good people. Thank you all and have a blessed day, and come by the CBCSA. Fight on.
Greetings to all of our first-generation students here at the University of Southern California. My name is Jacob Vogel. I'm the Associate Director and Arranger for the Trojan Marching Band, and I too am a first-generation college student. So I just want to say that I'm proud to have each and every one of you be a part of this great institution. I wish you well during the end of the semester, and good luck with your finals. Fight on!
Hey there, First Gen Trojans. We're celebrating First Generation Student Week here at USC. I'm Trista. I'm at the Topping Scholars Program, First Gen College grad, and I am here to tell you, you are doing a great job. We are so proud of all you've achieved. First Gen students bring so much richness to our campus, so much amazing lived experience, resilience, and expertise on their communities, and we appreciate all that you bring to USC. Keep fighting on.
Hello and welcome to USC. My name is Cynthia Tucker and I'm the Assistant Director of Trojan Event Services. And we are a department that oversees meeting and event spaces on campus. Congratulations on your achievement. My mother and father were the first in my family to attend college. They set the stage for other family members like myself to follow in their footsteps, and I'm sure other family members of yours will also do the same. My advice to you: take advantage of all of the resources offered at USC virtually and when we return to campus. You are a Trojan now, and membership has its privileges. But most importantly, always remember you belong here. And your presence adds to the richness of the fabric called USC. We're so glad to have you here.
Hello, my name is April Alba, and I am the Scheduling and Production Supervisor at Bovard. I graduated from USC and am a first-generation student. First off, congratulations and welcome to USC. I know as a first-generation student, all of this can seem very daunting, but please make sure that you take the time to enjoy this whole experience. Find support when you need it, get involved, and go to events. USC has so much to offer, so please take advantage. And always remember, fight on.
Hello everyone. My name is Bo Foley, and I am a scheduling supervisor for the Ronald Tudor Campus Center. I am also a proud lifelong Trojan. As first-generation students, I hope you all are incredibly proud of the major feat you have accomplished. It is your passion, strength, and grit that has gotten you to where you are today, and it is exactly those qualities that make you a Trojan. Congratulations once again, and welcome to USC and the Trojan family.
On behalf of myself, April, and Bo, and the entire staff of Trojan Event Services, welcome to USC and fight on.
Happy First Gen Week. My name is Nadia Palacios, and I'm Senior Director of Student Equity and Inclusion Programs. And I too am First Gen. Remember that you got this, that you belong, and we're so proud of you for being a Trojan. Fight on.
Hello everyone. My name is Beth and I'm an academic coach at the USC Korczak Center for Learning and Creativity, and I'm also a first-generation Trojan. We want you to remember that you are your ancestors' wildest dreams and you absolutely deserve to be here. If you ever need help with reaching your academic goals, we at the Korczak Center would love to see you. Fight on.
On behalf of ACS, we would love to give a huge shout out to all the first-generation Trojans. You made it this far, so never second guess yourself because you have what it takes to excel at USC and beyond. Fight on.
Hi, my name is Angelica Brooks. I'm a first-year DMA student at the Thornton School of Music. I am so proud to be a first-generation college student and be able to carry on a legacy that my parents weren't able to fulfill for themselves, and to be an example to my 4-year-old son that you can do anything that you put your mind to.
My first to fight on Trojans
my first generation Trojans continue to do that. It means so much to me because I was a first generation college student as well. Continue to trailblaze and set that path. You are destined to do amazing and great things. Continue to navigate. Reach out to the CBCSA. My name is Demarie Parker. I'm the center supervisor, along with Greeley, who is the super director of the center, and we are here to support you. Understand that you can, you will, and you must. Fight on.
Thank you to all of our amazing speakers who joined us in sharing their empowering stories and words of encouragement for all of our First Gen Trojans. As we wrap up today's kickoff, I want to remind you all of our First to Fight On t-shirts, which can be purchased this week on the USC's bookstore website. Additionally, as a reminder, we have our First Generation Plus Center gift account, which will help all of our centers' initiatives and programs for the coming years. We hope that you will continue to support and engage with us as we celebrate First Gen students. And as mentioned by our speakers today, First Generation Trojans, we are so proud that you are all here with us today. Thank you, and as always, fight on.